Hello guys, welcome to today's video and to my channel. My name is Sofia Kiwi and today we are going to discuss a serious topic on how to stop running around in circles and finally leave that toxic relationship. Are you tired of feeling drained, manipulated and disrespected in general? Well, leaving a toxic relationship might feel impossible, but it's not. It's time to break free. In this video, we are going to talk about how to take those first steps towards freedom, how to walk away and close the door behind you. If you are ready to reclaim your power, hit the subscribe button and let's dive in. Also, before we start, let me know in the comments down below, have you ever been in a toxic relationship or are you currently in one? I hope you're not. If you are ready, please share your story with us here on the channel. First step we are going to talk about is, of course, realizing it's the hidden signs of toxicity. So toxic relationships can often disguise as something else, love, affection, or even passion. But the truth is that unhealthy dynamics like constant criticism, emotional manipulation, gaslighting, verbal abuse can tear you down without you even realizing it. If you're feeling drained, anxious, or like you're walking on eggshells constantly, it's time to stop pretending and face the truth. The key point I want to give you at this stage is that you need to trust your gut. You need to learn to trust your gut. I know you have heard this before. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not listen to their instincts. And that's when you guys find yourself later down, maybe years down the road into a relationship and you realize, wait, in the beginning stage of my relationship, this and this happened. And oh, geez, that was actually a red flag, because it was. So please do not ignore your instincts. Trust your gut. The second point is the fear of the unknown and how to overcome it. One of the biggest reasons people stay in toxic relationships is fear. Fear of being alone, fear of change, fear of the fallout. But here's the thing. Fear is natural and it's not a reason to stay stuck. The reality is that staying in a toxic relationship might feel familiar, but that familiarity is holding you back from experiencing the life you deserve. Not to mention that imagine you are living in a little house. The person, your partner, is a toxic partner. They are an arsonist. They start a fire. And your house, the longer you stay in toxic relationships, the more your house burns down. Sometimes everything is burned down to the ground and you start from scratch, because that's how it is sometimes. Years down into a toxic relationship, it feels like you are starting all over again, because that's true. So leaving a toxic relationship as soon as you realize you are in one is basically the best step to take. And try to prepare for that. Of course, not just deciding the same day, okay, I'm going to leave. I'm going to tell my toxic partner I'm leaving. We're going to talk about that, why it's not good to do it that way. But the key point here is the unknown is scary, but it's also where your freedom lies. So it's time to trust yourself and take the first step into a new chapter. At least start to plan for it. The third point is to build a strong exit strategy. So what do I mean by this? It's like what I was talking about. It's tempting to hope things will get better and that you think you can manage the toxicity, but honestly, that rarely works. You need a concrete plan to leave. This means identifying where you will go, secure your finances, and getting your important personal belongings together, because we all have different situations in life. Sometimes we are living under one roof with a toxic person. Sometimes maybe we are living in different places, and that's a totally other question. and shared finances can definitely make it more complicated. But if you live together, it may mean finding a temporary place to stay or arranging support from a friend or family member. Preparation is key in this process to make the break as smooth and safe, of course, as possible. So the key point here is do not leave your future to chance, guys. Take control and make a plan that keeps you safe and emotionally intact. So the fourth point is emotional preparedness, because guilt and doubt will come. Get ready. Once you make the decision to leave, you might feel guilty. You might doubt whether you're doing the right thing. You might wonder if things will get better if you just try harder. But here's the reality. Staying in a toxic relationship only prolongs the damage, as I already mentioned. The person who loves you will want you to choose yourself over them, even if they don't say it. You are the one who has to live with the consequences of staying in this unhealthy environment. So key point here, your peace, your happiness, and your mental health matters. It actually matters the most. So do not guilt or doubt do not let guilt or doubt hold you as hostage. You have the right to prioritize yourself, and you should do it. No matter what someone else tells you that this is not the right thing to do, if you have decided, go for it. The 5th point here is establish firm boundaries and don't break them. So once you've left, cutting all contact with a person may be necessary. A toxic partner might try to manipulate, guilt trip, or lure you back in. Most likely, they will try. It's crucial, therefore, to set boundaries and stick to them, no matter how hard it may seem. Even if you have children or shared responsibilities, you should communicate your limits clearly and stay firm. The longer you stay in contact, the harder it will be to move on. If you've tried to break up before without success, you're not alone. For those of you out there, it's common in toxic relationships to find yourself going through the same painful circle all over again. You try to leave only to be convinced to stay, with promises of change or downright emotional manipulation. Your toxic partner might cry, beg, or even threaten to hurt you or to hurt themselves if you leave them. So each time you give in, it reinforces their behavior and it deepens your emotional entanglement. But leaving a toxic relationship requires more than just saying goodbye. I think we all know that. It's about setting firm boundaries that you stick to no matter how much pressure they put on you. And this might be harder than it sounds. The longer you stay in this dynamic, the more your partner may feel entitled to keep you, leading them to escalate their behavior in unhealthy ways. So key points here. Your boundaries are your shield. Establish them early and firmly, and be prepared for resistance, of course. Don't let guilt, fear, or manipulation convince you to turn back. Your safety and well-being are the top priority. So the 6th point here is find your support system and lean on it. If you've been in a toxic relationship, you may have been isolated from friends and family. Now, more than ever, you need to surround yourself with a strong support network. This could include trusted friends, family members, or even support groups where you can connect with others who understand your journey. Their support will be your lifeline as you rebuild your confidence and independence. Key point here is you do not have to do this alone. Reconnect with people who love and care for you and allow them to help you heal. So this is very important for those of you who have been isolated. It could have happened and you did not even realize it. And maybe at this point, when you are finally ready in your mind to leave your abuser, you suddenly realize that, wow, I have not a single phone number in my phone book here or in my contact list. But try to reconnect with even old friends, a trusted old friend you've had no contact with. Try to reconnect with them anyway. I'm sure they can understand you if you're ready to be honest with them. Even if it's really, really hard to open up the first time, it's necessary to do that, because it's almost impossible to deal with this. Leaving a toxic relationship and dealing with this alone is so much to handle. So the seventh and the last point I'm going to talk about is to embrace your new beginning, even when it's hard. It's easy to feel lost or uncertain after leaving a toxic relationship. You might even question your self-worth. But the truth is, leaving is just the beginning. It's the first step towards recovering who you really are, healing and creating the life you've always wanted and was supposed to have. This chapter will require patience, self-love, and time, but it will be worth it. So key point here is your life doesn't have to be defined by this relationship. You are capable of creating a beautiful new reality that you are comfortable living in. So guys, this was it for today. Let me know in the comments down below, did you find it helpful or maybe interesting? Or do you have some other topic you want me to talk about in my next video? Let me know. I love you all. Take care. Most importantly, be safe.